Nicole here with Job Hunt Solutions. In today's video, we're going to look at negotiating your job offer. There's two key elements when negotiating a job offer. One is what you're looking for, and the other is what the company is willing to offer. So it's vastly important that you do some research on what would be sort of the market rate and market offering for the roles that you're applying to. There are a number of great resources available to you online to do this research. Places like Glassdoor, salary.com. I'll actually have them in the notes below. But the other thing you really do need to look at and think through is what is it that you're looking for. So not just the ideally you would be looking for whatever the salary is with, say, whatever bonus, vacation time, etc. But think about what is your bottom line. And as you think through these things, just think sort of what would be sort of the worst case scenario through to the best case scenario and maybe a middle ground. And think about what are some of the elements that are important to you and rank order them. This way you'll be much better prepared when it comes time to actually negotiating the full offer. The second thing to consider is timing. If salary discussions haven't come up by the time around your first round of in-person interviews, then it's okay to wait till around then to even just broach the topic, just to get a better understanding of what sort of a salary range the organization is looking at paying for this role. Now keep in mind, salary is just an indication of level. So if we think about, say, a role like a project manager who is paid, say, $100,000 a year would be used to working on a much broader scope and size of project than, say, a project manager who is paid $50,000 a year. It only makes sense. Again, it's just an indication of level. Alternately, the hiring manager or recruiter may bring this up at an earlier stage. Now, when the recruiter brings this up, they may ask you a question like how much money you were making in your current or previous role. This information may or may not be relevant, but what is relevant is the type of salary range you're looking for the role that is being discussed. So a completely appropriate answer would be to say, for this type of role, I would be looking for a ballpark range of, and then fill in the blank. You can use your sort of middle ground rate and your ideal rate of pay as sort of the range that you want to use. And then you can see if at least you're speaking in the same ballpark with the organization on the job. Also, by mentioning the salary first, this is actually a negotiation technique called anchoring. So you are anchoring the conversation around a salary that you feel comfortable with. So if you have the opportunity to mention it first, please do. Now, when you actually get to the point of getting the job offer, that's fantastic. Just make sure that you're prepared to speak about a number of different line items at the same time. So even if the salary may not be exactly what you're looking for, perhaps there's variable pay such as bonuses or commissions that could help to increase that bottom line number for you. Considerations for travel or work from home may also be other contingencies that you can talk about through the negotiation process. And finally, thinking about things like a sign-on bonus that might help to bridge any gaps in the negotiation process could be a creative way to come to an agreement. Not to mention, it will also show your level of flexibility and fairness when it comes to negotiating with your potential employer. Now, in the event that you have maybe multiple offers or potentially a counter offer from your current employer, it is important to disclose this information that you have another offer on the table. But it's also very important not to use this as some sort of a hardball tactic in trying to pressure this employer in increasing his salary. And if you do lie about how much money is being offered to you, that's not only is it unethical, but you may be breaching some contract laws. So make sure you keep that in mind when you're doing your fair negotiations with an organization. And finally, remember, you're negotiating with people. Companies don't negotiate, people negotiate. So think about it from the employer's perspective as well. If they're initiating some of these conversations or extending an offer to you, then they're very serious about having you work for the organization. If, of course, the offer that they present to you is insulting, then look at that as well as an indicator of whether or not this is a company you'd want to work for. Every step along the recruitment journey is a way to sort of screen in or out organizations that you'd want to work for. And it's also a way for organizations to screen in or out candidates that they would want to work for them. So this negotiation piece is just as important as every other part of the recruitment life cycle. So it's important that each party in this negotiation gets treated fairly and feel happy with the end result. Thank you so much for watching. I really do hope you found this video helpful. If you have any other hints and tips on how to successfully negotiate an offer, please share them. Leave them in the comment section below. If you have any questions about this or any of my other videos, please feel free. Again, leave a comment in the comment section below, or you can send me an email, link in with me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, whatever works for you. If you have other video ideas or would like to collaborate, I'd love to hear from you. And of course, for personalized advice, please come see my website. I'd be happy to help. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, happy hunting!